So hello Mr. Lee, so this may be actually the last time for me to do the presentation of the video essay for you. So let's just generally go back to the graphs. Pardon me. Okay. This is the graph I set up randomly. So as is seen to all on the graph, this point A plus H with A plus H, and this point A F A. So I already draw a tangent line on the point A and a secant line crossing F plus H and A. So from to relate between these 2 points, we can see that as the secant line, this line increasingly to this point, which means the value of h increasingly approach zero. The secant line will be equal to the tangent line on this point, so that we can get a conclusion that if h approach zero, so they will get a same slope on the same point. Moreover, yeah, just assume that h is an absolute value. So actually on my instance, h should be a negative. Oh no, sorry, h must be a negative number, because if h is a positive number, this point should be moving to the right side of it, because it's greater to point A, right? So moreover, on this point, let's just relate to the concept about the proceeding and folly. So from the left to the right, from the right to the left, no matter which sign we choose, they will increasingly close this point FA over here. So let's go to some formulas. Yeah, this formula is very familiar for us because we've already learned it last semester in the function class. So the next step for us is to substitute the points on it based on my graph. So I put A plus H as B. I substitute in it. So get this step. Yes. And finally, this is the last formula. F A plus H minus FA and divide H. But moreover, we need to add more stuffs on it, because S is known to all, as this point increasingly be the same as point A. H, the value of H should be in approach zero. I've mentioned it before, but furthermore, as we all know, the way for us to calculate the slope of the secant is based on 2 points. We have to know 2 points before we calculate the slope of secant for sure. Rather, but once we just are supposed to calculate the tangent, the slope of the tangent, like calculate the slope of tangent on this point, we only have 1 point. So that to connect with the formula of the secant line, although we can substitute A plus H in FB, but we should clarify an circumstance that H have to be approached to zero, so that this formula can be verified. But instead, there's also some unusual instance for us that not allowed us to use the formula. I show it to you. So on this graph, I divide it into 2 parts. On the left side, as we all see, once we want to calculate the value of fx by the time x approaches zero, so here's zero over here. So no matter we use the proceeding or following from the left side to the right side or from the right side to the left side, they should be close, increasingly close, and approach to this point. And actually, I can randomly set up a point over here or over here to make a secant line, so that if I wanna make the secant line to kisses or to equals this point to this tangent line, I should get the edge value of edge increasingly be 0. Yeah, because yeah, we can like just assume that this is A and that this is B, which is the same as A plus edge. If edge if under the conditions that edge approach 0, we can also let the secant line equals the tangent line up regarding the slope on the same point. So let's move on to the right side. Over here, there's a vertical asymptote on the x value of 4. So over here, first we can utilize the proceeding method from left to the right, from right to the left. Both of them cannot be identical because they just can approach this line but can never equals this line. So just mentioned as before, like as an instance, like the graph on the left side, if we use the proceeding and following, we should like cross through the point, and no matter which sign we choose, they will be increasingly close to the point. But over here, there's no point. And go back to the calculus way. If actually, if we provide this that we supposed to let secant the slope of secant equals the slope of tangent. So on the same point, it is impossible because we cannot have the point on the asymptote. So this actually it doesn't exist in the graph. So the chief point I want to illustrate over here on the graph is that if the secant line approaches the tangent line on the same, they should be on the, first of all, they should be on the same point. So secondly, afterwards, like we mentioned over here, if we want to calculate the tangent line based on the formula of secant line, we should make sure that edge approaches 0 because there's only one point on it. Like look, it increasingly kisses it, approaches it. Yeah. Anyway, there's only one point on it. So this is I deem that this is the chief distinctions between the slope, the formula of the slope of the secant and the slope of the tangent. Is this part, rim edge approach 0, as I mentioned before. So that's maybe pretty much of it of my presentation. Thanks for watching, Mr. Lee. It is my honor to have this video essay presentation to you, and in the meantime, thanks for your suggestions and proposals, and sorry about using so many times for you to modify my draft and give me so many suggestions. So have a nice day, sir. See you tomorrow.